Welcome back to the Box2Box podcast.
This is episode 31, and today we're going to be talking about Man City losing back-to-back-to-back. Who's to blame?
Then we'll go over the games in the Champions League. English teams getting very bad results.
And Real Madrid win, but is Ancelotti's seat getting hotter?
All that and more on the Box2Box podcast.
Let's go.
You ain't going home,
Your
bro.
Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry. If we don't compete with City, this is a failure of a season. You've heard
Okay,
it
so
here first.
I can already tell you, I'll tell you in advance, you failed.
I'm going to take a central midfielder, Federico Valverde.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's
He has
crazy.
been the worst midfielder for Real Madrid this season.
That's
by far.
That's like saying Neymar was the worst player in MSN. Boys, big week in football. How we all doing?
I'm doing good this week. This week, especially, is a very spectacular week. Let's just say.
Why would you say that?
Now, Firms, are you going to address the situation?
Oh my
or-
God, I knew it.
What are you
What?
guys up to?
I don't know, Firms. Let the crowd know.
You could do your thing,
Clearly,
bro.
there's something you're parading.
Billy, do you know what's
So-
going on?
So
Once in a while, once in a blue moon, you can do it.
So basically, for European viewers, you guys play one type of FPL, okay? There's another type of FPL on the website called FPL Draft, and it's more North American style where it goes through a draft. So we're 12 players in our league, and
And
we
FPL is fantasy, by the way.
Yeah,
fantasy
fantasy.
for Premier League.
Yeah, and so it goes through round by round, and you get to select players. So this year, Paolo got first overall choice. He got to pick Haaland. Lucky.
I mean, bro, he's third. He's
Okay,
under
but
Cole
still,
Palmer
bro,
and there's
like-
Thinking it up recently.
Still, okay. And then who went? I believe second was,
It was me,
and you went who?
and I went for Saka
Over Salah.
because I thought that Liverpool wouldn't be this good, and I
fair.
thought
Look,
Arsenal would be
fair
better.
assessment.
Saka got traded the next.
Saka I traded, but I got good value for him.
Who did you trade him for?
Now I don't know off the top of my head, but it was like a good overall team. Like it was a
Okay.
1-for-4 basically.
And then whatever, Salah I think went third. But basically, it goes through player by player, and there's one day at the before the season starts where we all like draft our teams and then assemble our teams, and then we could pick up players and stuff during the season. Basically, game week 11, it all came down to top of the table clash. Varvar FC versus Firms FC,
Yep,
and
the big dogs.
let's
The
just say. By Sunday lunch, we didn't even need to worry about the Arsenal-Chelsea
Okay, bro. The
fixture.
game's finished at Sunday lunch. what are you talking about?
I ate my lunch in peace, not stressed at all. Let's just say.
I'll bring it up. This is the first time you brothers talk about FPL, and the Firms has to give a bit of context because listen, I hear your conversations at Firms.
11
getting
week-
50 points every week.
11 weeks of back-to-back.
By
50
the
points.
way,
Really?
Well, except this week.
yeah,
but-
except this. It's always except for this week. Whenever
Bro,
they play
that's
me.
crazy. 11 weeks of 50 points.
That's a lie. You do not have 11 weeks of 50 points. That's cap.
I think maybe
You're not
Wednesday-
at 500 points.
Yes,
So
I am.
that's-
Check,
Yes.
check.
You're
check
at
right
five.
now.
You're at five
Check right
something.
now.
So that's
Okay, so I'm not.
11 weeks of 50 is 550. So
Not
you're
every-
not at 550.
I would say, let's say, conservatively over 42.
last week 50, week before 44,
44?
56,
56,
48,
So you're-
53,
you're average.
52. Bro, this is
43.
insane.
That's
These are
the
insane
lowest
numbers.
one.
Bro,
30 is the lowest one. There.
I'm only 20 points behind Firms or something.
Those are crazy
Within
numbers.
20.
Fact check?
Yeah, fact check that.
So actually, this is another thing because he's saying because my metric for the best team on FPL is the most points and obviously the standings. I'm first with the most points. He's saying my team is shit.
You see, the issue is that I haven't had Martin Odegaard basically the entire season.
I haven't had KDB
KDB. Martin Odegaard's going to accumulate more points than KDB throughout the season.
clipped, exported.
You
sent
said
to,
it,
will.
You
He will.
everyone.
You said it.
Also
He will.
every channel.
Odegaard was a top 10 FBL player last season. KDB wasn't.
You said it.
So what's your...
KDB was injured for long last season.
KDB just gets injured. Odegaard doesn't. So me not having Odegaard
Don't
is
act
a
like
valid
KDB is a
excuse.
scrub, my brother.
But basically, it came down to it. I dropped 59 points. Firms dropped 40. Wasn't even close. I
you got a
ate
good
my
team,
lunch
bro.
in peace.
Thank you,
I have
Paolo.
a fucking good team too. Make sure to include that.
I have a good team too.
Make sure to
Actually,
say
I
that
have a good
shit,
one.
bro. Because
But your team is. I
have-
know your team. Your
I have-
first
No,
team
Varvar's
is
a good
better.
team.
No,
I'll
it's
give
not.
him props.
I have Bruno. I have Odegaard. I have Solanke. I have Trent. Like, I have Onana, the best goalie in FPL this year. I mean, I got a stacked ass team. All I know is Palace team is garbage.
That's crazy.
It's Haaland. It's
Damn,
Haaland.
Why is it fuck
It's
me, bro?
Haaland.
Drive-by, bro. That's
Haaland and
crazy.
Haaland and Prey.
Ah, it's cool.
And then Millie was too scared to join the league. So
Listen,
Oh my God.
You guys go hard. I'm not gonna lie. From an outsider perspective, I actually
Touch
enjoy it.
grass, bro. Touch grass.
I enjoy it from an outsider perspective.
I don't
honestly.
enjoy it, and I'm
next
inside
year
of it.
you're
Yeah.
joining, bro.
Don't worry, I'm already there.
Next year we'll do it.
I know you guys have a couple names
Millie,
on
we'll
that
split a
list.
team next year, me and you.
Yeah, I know a couple brothers on that list that you guys have. You're thinking of
We're kicking them
putting
out.
them on the chopping block. So
We need consistent
information
players.
like that?
We need
I'm not saying
consistent
nothing.
players.
I didn't say who. I didn't say when. I didn't say how. It's just yeah. You guys go. You guys
Shout
every-
out
yeah.
Lane Town FC.
Yeah.
Lane
Most
Town FC.
most active one on the FPL.
This guy, for some reason, every single year, and we keep inviting him for some reason. He's our friend
Yeah, he's
from
our
high
friend.
school.
Buddy of
but
ours.
he joins every single year, doesn't even show up. And then just he doesn't show up to the draft,
Bro,
so
he's
it auto drafts
starting
him. Brother, he has
João Cancelo.
He has Julian Alvarez in his team. He doesn't even play in the Premier League
Just
anymore.
watch out, bro. Week 12 coming up.
I think he had the record for lowest points this week. I
Bro, I
'cause you
played
sent
him.
the screenshot.
I played him, and I think he accumulated maybe like 12 points or something.
Oh my, barely double digits. That's crazy work.
Bro, he has
Oh
like
my
6
God.
players that are red. They're just not in like
Not
the
even in
league,
that.
not playing.
What sucks is that then we can't trade. 'cause
Yeah, like
obviously-
all his players are on
Bro, he has
Guantanamo
Son.
Bay.
He has Son,
You ain't seeing
Madison.
them. MIA.
you can't trade
MIA.
for them.
It's
Adios.
Guantanamo
Locked up.
Bay.
Sayonara.
Like he has Son, Madison. He has
a decent team, to be honest.
Mateta. He has some other decent players. Where like if you thought Trossard,
Trossard.
and
I tried getting a trade out of him earlier this year, but he took 2 days to answer me and then said, I'll check it out.
and he never opened the app. He would have to
Never checked.
reinstall the app, I
Yeah,
think, to
yeah.
actually get to it. But whatever.
It has,
Next-
it has the iCloud emoji right next to it. You have to re-download
but
it.
yeah, that's. Anyways, I smoked firms in FPL, so.
Yeah.
Var
Enjoy
just had
it.
to mention
And we were speaking about this game for weeks
Yeah.
off camera. It was game. We were like
week 11, the
4
derby.
game weeks ago, and I was firms. Wait till game week 11, bro.
mean,
Wait till game
Listen,
week 11.
we're first and second, so
I mean,
still nothing has happened.
Loki, if people like this FPL talk, you give them a quick little update after every
The
week, just
overview?
something like that, some here, some
Something
there.
like-
I don't know. It depends. We'll see what.
I
There's a
also,
little bit of
I also
gap.
did
There's-
good
there's
in
a
the
gap in
Discord.
the- there's a gap in
I
the-
also did good in the Patreon.
the
FPL.
Patreon,
Discord.
FPL, yeah.
Did a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah,
transfers
Patreon.
this week. I brought in because I have Delap, I have Haaland up top, and then I also brought in
They still can in that?
I have Smith Rowe and Salah. So, but this week I transferred out Haaland because you don't realize how much
Oh, brother.
money Haaland is in
Yeah.
FPL
Years.
until you transfer him out.
He's like,
And
what,
there's-
13 or 14?
He's 15
yeah,
million.
15.
So you
15
could
million.
buy 2 Bruno Fernandezes for 1 Haaland.
But there's
It's
even
crazy.
value like striker wise. You have Wolves strikers like Strand Larson.
I brought in
Acuna,
Isaac. Isaac has insane fixtures
Him
for the
too.
next couple months. So
Joao
coming
Pedro.
up.
Yeah.
Like these guys are cheaper and they'll
Joao
probably have
Pedro's
the same
5
output.
million.
It's very
You could
cheap.
get 3 Joao Pedros for 1 Haaland.
Watch that price go up this week.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna go
I
up.
think he's at 5.4 or something like that, but crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys aren't even FPL players.
Shout out Marcus Brunn. He's currently top of the box to box.
The Patreon. If you want to join the FPL, you need to join the
the
Patreon.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcus Brun.
Brun.
Shout
And in
out
the Discord,
to
we
the
have a
goat.
little FPL group
Yeah,
chat,
chat.
which is nice to see.
Which
Those
they all
three.
said my team's better than Firms' is. But whatever, we
Not
can
all
move
of them,
on.
but yeah.
Man City, another loss against Brighton. Now it's starting to rack up loss after loss after loss. Who's to blame here? We can't be letting this slide.
There's a few options because you're either blaming it on obviously Pep Guardiola. Some people are true to the fact that the manager is always to blame in stretches of bad form. Do you blame it on players? Is there a lack of quality?
It's a tough spot. Pep Guardiola loses KDB. Okay, you think he could be able to recover from that. Then you lose Rodri. These are 2 key guys that you do not have on your team. But again, this is Manchester City. You have the depth. You have the squad to compete.
And it's not like Kovacic is playing bad, first of all, when you bring up Rodri. I don't think I look at that and I see Rodri. I don't see Kovacic playing bad. He just got an assist. He had a brace a couple weeks ago. So, I don't know. I can't. For me, starting a youngster like Simpson Pussy when you need a win, by the way, crazy name.
Slanderous
No,
name.
but did he start him? He didn't start him. He started
Started against
Sporting.
Sporting,
Yeah.
and he started against
started on
Brighton.
the
yeah,
weekend.
he
Brighton.
started on the weekend.
That's
So
just Pep,
when
bro.
Akanji's on the bench, for me that doesn't make sense when your team is in need of a win. Starting Simpson Pussy,
Defensively, they have not been good. They've been leaking goals left and right.
which is uncharacteristic of
Very
Manchester City.
It is, but when you look at it, I mean, Ruben Diaz, Akanji, and Guardiola, and both of them are like Akanji and Guardiola are both going up, it leaves some gaps in the back.
But we've never seen this. We've never seen like instability. I think it's Rodri.
It has to be Rodri.
I'm saying it's Rodri because Rodri was affecting the game in ways we didn't see. Like the play almost didn't, the counter almost didn't. But did you see how Sporting was playing through their team, breaking out through the side, coming right back into the midfield? The center backs looking at them like countering. What's happening?
I think we're also overreacting a bit. Like if Haaland was finishing at his normal rate that he normally does, I think they would have a couple wins between these games.
Bro, they conceded 4 goals.
Yeah, these scorelines are not looking
when
nice.
did Man
Sporting-
City?
Yeah, but that's Ruben Amorim, bro. You're talking about the GOAT right there. Like that's not a normal game.
like
you know?
Gyökeres didn't score a hat-trick.
Ruben Amorim Sporting. That's like a whole different monster. By the way, coming to Manchester United soon.
Is he?
No.
God,
Ten Hag got sacked.
I must have missed that
Breaking
news
news.
cycle. But
I gotta watch the emergency pod.
but losing grip of this game against Brighton is unacceptable because I get João Pedro came off the bench. That's a very good player to come off the bench, but it's a team like Brighton. I'm hearing top 4 shouts for Brighton. I don't see
You're
it.
acting like they're not good?
I don't see top 4. I don't see European spots, to be honest, for Brighton.
I
this
see them
season.
top 6, to be honest. They have an excellent team, bro. They have
The
the depth.
gap is, by the way, the gap in the Premier League between top and
Very nice to see.
Well, Liverpool's getting a bit of a gap up there, but from 3rd to 12th, I think, or 11th, it's 4 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's extremely competitive right now. Liverpool's running away with it, but Manchester City, I don't know. Do you start asking questions as to like, do we start benching these guys? I know, like an Erling Haaland, you would think we do not. We
Where's
make
the
sure
backup?
he's. Yeah, I know, but you have to kind of make a statement here. I'm sorry.
But listen. I'm not saying bench Haaland, but like there are alternatives. Like Man City back in the day didn't used to play games without a striker. Like you could try false 9.
He's done that.
Exactly. So it's not like you can't say like, and I'm not saying you should bench Haaland because you definitely shouldn't. That shouldn't be.
But
it's like,
That's not, that's
Yeah.
not
I'm
going to
not,
resolve
saying,
anything.
I'm not saying that's the solution, but Pep needs to do something to
Change a formation.
jumpstart this,
Change the
this
formation.
squad.
Like,
maybe okay, Rodri injured. We're missing a bit of that defensive solidity that Rodri offered because Rodri can basically play a one-man midfield by himself, destroys counters every 2 seconds like he's Prime Kante, and then dishes the ball like he's Busquets. So we lost that. Maybe we can start playing 2 deep midfielders now, play a 4-2-3-1 instead of the 4-3-3.
He tried it.
But
the difference is
They
that
tried it. The Rico Lewis Kovacic.
yeah, they're starting Kovacic
it was-
and Rico
but it was
Lewis.
good.
There's balance,
because Rico Lewis starts at right back, he moves into midfield, so it's still a 3-2.
But at one point, Walker was there and Rico Lewis was in the midfield for like
And
the
Walker
for-
too, he has been horrendous. Like he's not a
it wasn't
player for Man.
horrendous, but-
Yeah, he's
He's
not.
been horrendous this season.
He's got to go. It's time to go.
His physicality, this guy brother's finished. Like
I think he's still valuable in a game where it's like you need an experienced fullback to ISO a good winger.
I actually saw, and can you guys think of one also? Walker might be one of the only clubs in the world where the club captain is the worst player.
Milan, like just a year ago.
Yeah, but now I'm saying. Oh, he's still. Well, I don't know, Emerson.
There's been some bad.
I don't know how you
captains.
guys replaced the worst player in your team with
With
the
a-
worst player in your team.
He's actually
No,
not
he's
been that bad,
actually-
to
he
be
actually
honest.
hasn't been that bad. He's still a meme though.
But,
He's still a meme.
Locked
in my
up
head.
Vinny, by the way.
The ones I saw compared to him are Emre Can at Dortmund, and
He's
That's
not
a
that
little-
bad.
that's a little
bro,
hard.
he's been terrible this season.
Maybe this
terrible.
season, sure.
Terrible. Neuer at Bayern. Neuer fell off
Deserved.
hard.
Yeah, but he's still a
Ter
leader
Stegen at Barca.
up there.
Not bad.
And there was one more I can't think about, but yeah. The fact that Kyle Walker's club captain, and I don't know if you guys know Kyle Walker off the field, like some of the stuff he's gotten into, like
Doesn't he have a whole nother family?
yeah, exactly. So he does not seem like
Hannah Montana of football.
let's say the example that the squad should be setting.
No,
but
but it's different on the pitch. Your outside life, I mean, it matters
shouldn't
for
affect.
personal affairs, but on the pitch, there's leaders and
but
leaders.
leaders should be exemplary of like
Brother,
everyday life.
Danilo's Juventus captain at sometimes.
That's up there.
Sometimes.
It's up there.
By the way,
Forgot about that
Pala,
one.
top 5 Serie A defender.
Was.
He said
Was, bro.
Was.
No,
Was.
you said before this summer, you
WAS
went into the
was.
summer saying he's a
Was.
top 5 Serie A.
Was.
Am I lying here? He went into the summer saying he's
No,
top
bro,
5
I
Serie
said he
A.
I gotta
was in the
finish what
prior
was, boss.
seasons, bro.
I don't
Danilo
remember.
Clipped exported.
Yeah.
Danilo right now, bro, but see, he's a good example of a guy that I want as my captain, but I don't want playing.
Yeah.
But then Kyle Walker, I think then Man City should be at a point where okay, you kind of open the door for him and you say, "Oh, your service was great. We appreciate it. You got to move on now."
What's crazy about this Man City, let's say beginning of the season woes is that they feel a lot more vulnerable than the seasons before. Like every season, Man City are slow out of the gate, but they're still in the title race, and you say, okay,
We say
like
this every year.
they're gonna wake up. Now,
you tell
with
me.
Rodri out for
Every
the
week you
year,
said it, brother. Every
with
week you
Rodri out for the year, it's
It ain't
kind of
looking
like,
good.
are these brothers actually going to be in a title race come the end of the season?
Yes,
I'm-
they will.
It's more like you know that they're going to be top 3, but what's that gap like?
Bro, Liverpool do not fall off. We're gonna talk about them later, but if they don't fall off, the race is determined by Liverpool. Like it's not like City can now run away with it. It's not.
Liverpool's the protagonist. Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So
They have 5-point gap, I believe, 29 to 24, I think is the gap. So 5 points already at this point in the season's a pretty big gap, and it's not looking like Man City are gonna get better. They only look like it's not looking like we get back from international break and Man City are gonna win 8 in a row.
No, of course not.
It's not looking like
But
that.
in January,
So-
I feel like
might.
they need some reinforcements. Like they're gonna bring in, someone just to maybe get them more balanced.
The issue with reinforcements is that the players that can replace Rodri realistically, and this is not saying that one for one, I'm saying like profile wise, are going to cost 40, 50 mil. And as soon as Rodri comes back, it's like the Calvin Phillips situation. They bought Calvin Phillips for 50 mil to play backup to Rodri. He just never ended up playing once Rodri was healthy.
True.
yeah, but now you're buying a guy for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but exactly. You're spending 50 mil on someone for 6 months. When if you go into the loan market, you're not going to find a CDM that can play like Rodri.
I think Kovacic can stay in that role. I'd rather find other players. Like, I'd rather find a fullback.
Gvardiol's not losing his place.
Right back. I need
He's
a-
actually been, I would say, City's best player
City
this
need a
season.
right
Yeah.
back bad.
Well, he scored some crucial goals for them.
Bro, Rico Lewis has shown to be kind of undroppable for Pep.
Is he a midfielder or is he a fullback?
But
He's
Pep,
very good at that fullback.
that's why I'm saying Pep kind of needs to change the way he needs to get more pragmatic, in my personal opinion, right now. And I'm not saying turn to Ten Hag style of play where in games where we had bad form, we would legit just 30% possession no matter who we're playing and just hoof the ball up. But I'm saying you do not need to play.
I can low-key agree with that statement, Varva. The like Pep needs to play more pragmatic because he's playing this. He never changes his open style of football, and he's conceded to basically. I have Ederson in FPL. Like I follow those brothers' clean sheets. Bro, they're always conceding.
Barely any
first.
clean sheets.
They're conceding versus shit teams. I mean, teams that still score goals nonetheless. But still, City has never shown that vulnerability defensively, and this season it looks one of the worst.
And I'm sure it's even a mentality thing now. Like you're getting fragile. Teams know that defensively you're not as good as you were last season, for example. So
teams are coming into games like with the idea that they could actually get a result, which is completely different to years past where, brother, if you were
You're not scoring on
if
City.
you were a Newcastle, if you were a Brighton going in 2-3 years ago, it's like, okay, we're dropping points or something.
Bro, I don't want to jump the gun, but like Juventus, when we were at our glory period, it took a long time, but at certain points it was like when we used to lose to a shit team, like we used to lose to a team that we haven't lost to in 20 years. It was always the stat. Like everyone was coming out to play versus Juventus,
Yes.
because they were the biggest team. This is from my experience. And then slowly, those losses to those shit teams started getting more and more common. And it wasn't like we didn't lose. It hasn't been 20 years since we lost to them. It was
Like the last year.
And
Last year.
let's kick off, like you're gonna bring the Juventus, which I think is a good parallel. What kicked off the Juventus kind of downfall?
that's difficult. It got
COVID?
It got
Like-
expedited by COVID, but it
COVID
started.
with the financial irregularities that they found, I think, no?
No, it started with Ronaldo.
Yeah,
It started with
Ronaldo's the
Ronaldo.
turning
That was the
point.
beginning of the end because you were not investing in your future. You were investing in Ronaldo, and you wanted like sales, jersey sales, and all that. But that was like hundreds of millions.
I just want to bring up that the last 2-3 years, there has been a slight decline in Man City's, I would say. Well, I wouldn't say 3 years because that's when they won the treble. But like from that treble, low-key, Man City have not been this flawless football operation that everyone likes to think of them. They've let superstars fall out of their cracks.
who?
Cole Palmer.
Oh.
So that's like one generational superstar, not generational, but a superstar that you let out of your cracks. And then on top of that, you have the 115 charges like looming over your head. Pep's contracts coming up pretty soon. Their football director just retired, and they got sporting director of football. Like, it's not looking like Man City are the same Man City as 2-3 years ago. It's a completely different operation.
Transitionary period.
Yeah, but with transition comes risk of that you never
course,
transition into the
Yes.
same.
And
level.
who's to say that Pep, which is, I would say, the most important part of if Pep goes,
A lot.
I am not saying Man City are title
100%.
are title favorites.
Well, bro, we said that about Klopp.
Yeah, but I think
There's a difference. Bro.
Yeah, I think there's a difference because Pep has won trophy after trophy after trophy, a treble. Manchester United, for example, it's very tough to recover from losing such a staple of your footballing culture, your building, your locker room, everything. So it really depends that it's going to be inevitable. Pep will leave eventually. It's finding that right replacement. But I do agree with Varvar. It's almost like the honeymoon phase is kind of over. It's kind of like, okay, what happens now?
And
It's a little daunting.
And some of Pep's quotes are kind of getting a bit, if I were a Man City fan, they would be worrying because it kind of sounds like he's like done.
He's
or
checked out a little.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
So
Why?
he shows
What
up at
has
the
he
press
said?
conferences very frustrated, like he's like, "Screw you!" Like he's giving very aggressive. He's not saying "screw you."
I'm sure
but
he's losing sleep over these losses. I'm
But
not even.
he's very frustrated, and even when he's asked questions about his contract situation, like he doesn't address it really. Like he kind of goes around.
I
the
think we're
question.
being reactionary as a whole, but I think even when it gets back to normal, there will still be the things we're saying have underlining meaning that I think will stay regardless of the Man City form. But as a Man City fan, if you exist out there, I would be worried about the future because it's definitely looming.
Yeah.
It's definitely looming. You have a lot of talent, but it is an aging team.
It doesn't
And
seem like
the
it's a
commentator said it at one point, and he's like, "Oh, but this is an aging Man City," and I was like, "Bro, this is not an aging Man City." And then I started thinking,
KDB, Rodri. After this injury, you don't like. I'm not saying you can't say go into next season with Rodri as your start. You definitely are, but
like how old's like a Ruben Diaz?
Stones, like
Yeah,
like
Stones, Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker was a pillar of your
Ederson.
team.
How old's
Ederson
Ederson?
wanted to leave to Al Nassr
Yeah.
this summer.
Yeah, but then you have the youngsters like Foden, Doku, youngsters. You know, they're younger.
Established.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is Doku, like everyone brings up Doku
Savio.
and he's a very good player, but Doku's not a building block of your team. He's not a player that you pin down the left wing spot and you say, oh, that's his for the next decade.
I just don't see a lot of promising players. But like, it wasn't like that 2015 City where it's like they brought in a young Raheem Sterling. They brought in a young Kevin
They didn't
De
miss
Bruyne.
on transfers.
They didn't miss.
But now they're
Bernardo Silva
missing.
from Monaco, Leroy Sané.
Sané.
They're missing on transfers now, like the Jack Grealish and
a miss.
the Calvin Phillips. Those are misses that they're not. It's not. And Mateus Nunez,
Bro,
decent player, but
I'm
52
looking up
mil.
some ages. Kovacic 30, Gundogan
Yeah, but
34,
Kovacic is-
Bernardo
yeah.
30, KDB
And
over
the
30.
Gundogan that came back from Barcelona is not the same Gundogan
No,
that
not
left.
at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Man City. This year just feels different.
Has a different feel.
And even-
beginning of the end almost.
Yeah, and add on KDB to that with his contract maybe in the MLS.
San Diego FC, please join.
That'd be
Well,
good for
optimal
MLS.
would be Montreal, but I don't know if we
That
can
would never
afford
happen.
that bag.
French speaking.
French, baby, baguette, baby.
And we speak English
That's what
too.
we got. We got Drogba only just because we were a French-speaking
Yeah.
city.
But-
Literally.
Henry as our manager. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and then listen, Haaland, if he sees all his brothers leaving, who's to say that Barcelona or Real Madrid don't come calling?
There's always those links.
There's always going to be links, brother. As soon as Pep's gone, bro, you can't.
Barcelona
you can't
might
say-
have to liquidate their
I
entire
know, but
club.
they would.
I think they would.
Yeah,
They
they-
would, bro. To create back that rivalry.
No, I think if he left, it would be to replace when Kane leaves Bayern or something like that. I think it wouldn't be. I think you'd go to Bayern over a Barcelona.
Bayern,
No.
bro.
I don't know. I just don't see Haaland in 10 years.
A Manchester
being,
United.
Okay,
I'd
next
take
topic.
him. I'd take him. I don't even care.
Yeah, I guess I would take Haaland. I guess.
But bro,
Over
Man City, Man
Morata?
United, I would take him.
Listen, there's a lot to discuss with Manchester City. It's we'll see how it develops over the season, like how that goes. But the marquee game today, fellas, was Arsenal-Chelsea. We had some buddies of ours actually at the game too, but ends up 1-1, bit of a stalemate. Couple chances here, couple chances there. What did you guys think?
Overall, I think it was an entertaining match, despite the offsides. I mean, the stats probably won't tell you that it was an entertaining game, but watching it was pretty good. You definitely saw the rivalry. I haven't seen players that passionate in a minute.
It was a little feisty.
Pedro Neto was pissing me off because that brother is just a rat. I'm sorry, he's a rat.
Man of the match, to be
and then
honest.
scoring on top of it just made me even hate him even more. But like, bro, brothers like Caicedo, I've never seen Caicedo that brother was playing South American football.
Well, it's because he had the captain's armband today.
Yeah.
So
Well, then
I
he
think
dro-
it
then
gave
he-
him
then
an
he took that
extra
shit to
juice.
James. He gave him
I
over
saw
his ass.
it's the gimmick was so funny. First minute, not even a minute in, he tackled someone and started hyping up the crowd like, "Let's go, let's
He was
go!"
hype, you could tell,
Like
yeah.
it's the first minute, bro. Like calm down.
Did you see his I think it was a counter. I don't know who it was on, but like he put in like a long range slide tackle 50-50, got up, celebrated, but the brother was at half field.
Yeah,
And then
he's been very
the
good this
timber
season.
shove too.
Yeah.
No, he was good today. Honestly, there's a conversation that he might be up there as one of the best DMs in the world. Like very slowly he's creeping up.
Today, you had to pick Tchouaméni or Caicedo. Who are you picking?
Like the thing is that Tchouaméni's more established, let's say. But honestly,
Like I could trust Tchouaméni.
This season,
you could
this
trust
season,
more.
Caicedo. It's I think
yeah, me too.
Caicedo's in
I'm
that
leaning on
conversation.
Caicedo.
you'd be putting name. You'd be just basing it off of name tags if you're not saying Caicedo right now. But I did see. I think this was some shitty source on Twitter. But I did see Tchouaméni to Liverpool as a possibility.
Real Madrid fans have not been happy with him.
Yeah, but look, is
Even
there,
at the-
is there a team in the world that's ready to dish out the 100 million that's probably needed to get Tchouaméni out of Real Madrid?
That's the thing.
Liverpool could barely spend freaking.
Well, no,
dime
that's a
for
lie.
50 million.
No, that's actually not true.
Well, no, they've spent a
They
lot.
were in for Moises Caicedo for
Yeah.
100 million when he left Chelsea.
I think they were just running the price
Smoke
up, bro.
mirrors. It's like a regular box-to-box
No,
auction.
yeah.
bro.
Liverpool.
It's a
Liverpool's
rebuild.
one club. Liverpool's one club that don't really miss on transfers. There was one Soboslai I think we can consider
Darwin,
a miss,
Gakpo?
but Gakpo 40
haven't
million or
missed.
35
And to sit
million
on
is
the
not a
bench
miss.
now?
Not worth
Yeah, but that's a 35 million
I
for
guess,
that
yeah,
player
I
to
guess.
sit on the bench. That's good.
Yes. Nunez.
I would say more Nunez and Soboslai are two where you're like, I don't know about that one, but they have a new transfer director in that made their Champions League squad the first time. I think he beefed a bit with Klopp after he built that first Champions League team. He built his own data company that ended up being a very successful data company.
No, he's back.
And then he came back this summer, and then they
What a
had the
goat.
summer that, well, they didn't really buy anyone this summer. They bought Mamardashvili, which is a pretty good
Still waiting
signing.
for it.
But
Chiesa.
yeah, they don't miss on transfers. Chiesa,
Bit of a miss.
stinky.
Well,
We'll
injured
see.
again.
He hasn't really played, to be honest.
But yeah, Arsenal, I have one question, okay? Because I was speaking to our editor, our YouTube editor is an Arsenal fan, and I asked him this question. Now, if Arteta doesn't bring home a trophy this season, or he keeps playing this style, and you guys are more in a top 4 battle than a title, how long does he get? Like, does he get the whole season? Like,
I think he gets at least a season. I'm onto the understanding that this guy is not it's not a new project with Arteta. People have this understanding that, oh, it's just it's still a young project, let it develop. Brother, it's been how many years now?
Yeah.
Like it's been too many years.
It's phase 4,
It's
phase
Lacazette,
5, no?
brother. Lacazette feels like 10 years ago.
yeah, Ken, shout out to our editor, Ken. He was telling me that, you remember where we were under Wenger? Like, look at where he brought us. Yeah, but you've been here for 2 years. Now it's just stagnation.
And it
honestly,
didn't
not even
feel-
stagnation. I feel like the first year you guys hit here, second year was a bit of a downgrade, and now it just feels like it's like
Okay, well,
going
there's
even
honeymoon.
lower.
The honeymoon ran out, like Millie was saying.
Your best chance at a title, the closest you got to a title, I
2
feel
seasons
was your 2 seasons ago.
seasons ago.
And
The
then
bottle
last
season.
year you got close, but it wasn't like final day close. And then this year it looks like you're not even going to end up close at all.
Well, what's the thing is at the beginning of the season, I think the conversation wasn't like it was mainly like City Arsenal, who's like, well, Arsenal finally have now all the pieces to compete with City. But listen, things are getting turned on their head every day now. Liverpool is 5 points ahead. The dialect is different. Not dialect. I'm mixing
The
up my-
conversation.
Dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue is a lot different now, and I think that should be applied with Arsenal as well. Arteta, do you fire him on the spot? No. Should you wait till the end of the season and
no
evaluate?
there's no option.
I feel like it's a little bit of a risk.
I'm not saying right now it's a sack Arteta over the international break so you can get the manager to come in and he has 2 weeks with the squad. I'm just saying that let's say Arsenal keep getting dragged into this top 4, potentially top 6 race because of how close the Premier League is. You have to start looking at options like a Nagelsmann that could be considered somewhat available that are top level managers.
So you would consider these options only like if you miss out on a top 4, or like what are you expecting from Arsenal now this year?
Well, the expectations going into the season were Arsenal have on paper, and everyone can agree with this, that Arsenal have a top 3, top 4 player in the Prem at every single one of the positions.
Now we're good.
No, but I'm saying
When it's an Arsenal fan saying that we have good player quality, it's like, nah, bro.
You
Saka's
do.
overrated. This is shit. That's shit. And
but
now we have
no
players.
one's gonna say that Saka's not a top 3 winger in the Prem at right wing.
Firms would probably say it.
No,
I
not
mean,
in the Prem.
Cole Palmer,
in the world,
Salah
I
are the
think-
only ones that you can
Yeah.
really say are clear.
Slide and Foden too. There's actually a conversation. But listen, no, top 5.
See, my point
No,
exactly.
but like Havertz, even someone that is not that good,
Now
let's
Havertz
say.
too, bro.
No,
No,
but
but
like
Havertz is a
Haaland,
top
Premier League, I
5.
guess.
He's
you
there.
compare him like he's not Haaland, he's not
No,
Isaac.
obviously
I would
not.
say, or he's more in the Solanke tier, and I'd say he's below. But like
Better than
that's a
Solanke,
top
bro.
4.
Give me a break.
Maybe Isaac even better. is actually
Well,
better.
Isak's better, but like I'm
Isak's
saying,
better, but anyway.
I'm saying Arsenal have a squad to compete, and that's not a reason anymore for Arteta
defensively
to not be.
too.
Bro, he competes in the Premier League. Let's bro.
And
he
the
was
football's
going-
not getting prettier. Let's just acknowledge
agree.
that
That I
fact
agree
right
with.
now. That Arsenal
stale.
from 2 years ago, you could say, oh my God, they're actually getting kind of close to Pep.
Like they're building an identity.
Yeah, and then now
But
2
that's
years
they have an
in
later,
my
identity.
opinion. There's
They
no
have-
identity.
Of course,
like,
there's an identity, bro.
There is
it's
an
Man
identity,
City,
please.
copy and paste.
How?
It's what's different about it.
What's the same about it?
You guys, there's a reason why you guys can't catch up to Man City.
Bro,
Is because you guys are copying
Our
them.
identity is touchline wingers in swinging crosses. That's Arsenal's identity.
I know,
but it's been patched. It's getting patched.
it's been patched.
And you don't have a 9. So like you're in swinging these crosses to Havertz. Havertz can't finish. Well, he could finish,
and
but
I saw this tweet where Arteta's attackers that he's purchased, I think he's missed on every single one. Other than Trossard, I'll give Trossard, but Sterling, he bought Havertz,
those aren't expensive.
Sterling.
Those aren't marquee signings.
but they're attacker signings.
Okay, they're signings.
I think that was
They're
more
depth
depth.
signings. But we
Yeah.
never wanted Sterling to be a starter.
Yeah.
We didn't buy Sterling to be a starter.
Okay, but go
I'm
on.
gonna look up this list because I don't remember them off the top of my head.
We
But
need a 9. That's the main thing. Is if Arsenal don't get a 9 in January, maybe you will make it through the season, but you need one in the summer.
I don't know who you would get in the winter though.
Bro, we needed to
That's
sign
the problem.
Gyökeres last summer.
Gyökeres was a summer.
full
ago, yeah,
list of
exactly.
attackers Arteta signed in the last 5 years: Willian, Marquinhos, Gabriel Jesus, Trossard, Sterling on loan, Havertz.
Gabriel Jesus was a very good striker for us.
First season, yes.
And he's
And they
been
got injured.
deadwood since that first season.
Been injured.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
deadwood now.
It's
Like
not
Gabriel
the same.
Jesus right now is deadwood,
Yes, yeah.
and he's making 200K a week.
But because that's coming off a Man City contract, that's coming off.
These are investments from the past.
potential-
My friend.
But that's under his tenure.
I agree, bro. I agree with these things. I'm gonna go back to what you were asking about Arteta. The Premier League, I've had no problem with his performance in Premier League. He was going ban for ban with Pep Guardiola, that probably was managing at that point, like 2 seasons ago, like one of the best teams I've ever seen in the Premier League.
Yes.
So he was going ban for ban with that, which is insane. But the Champions League is what I'm pissed about, because nothing is convincing in the Champions League. Playing versus Inter, whatever, we're missing. We're gonna talk about that after. But this goes back to even last season. No matter who Arteta was playing, if the other team had a little bit of guile, it was just not a convincing
You
win.
guys did beat PSG 2-0.
Bro, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
but
real, bro.
PSG,
I'm gonna be
this
real,
year
bro. That
looked
was
like
a
on
shit
fraud
game.
watch.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. That was not a. That,
No,
like,
you guys dominated.
we
Arsenal
dominated, but PSG did not look good. They
Yes,
looked like
and
shit, bro.
PSG like got dominated by Girona. Like PSG are not a barometer this year. They're not a
Inter
team
is
that
a
you
barometer.
Say, yes.
And if you want to be
course.
considered one of the best teams and you want to consider yourself one of the best managers, Arteta, you should be a lot more
Yeah.
convincing versus Inter, because Inter didn't start, and I'm defending them, but
Well, we'll
it's
talk about
bro,
it.
it didn't.
Okay, and now obviously the season not off to the greatest start. What can they change? Like they can go in the transfer market. They can, let's say, look at their youth academy. They can
Start
Start
Nwaneri. No, bro.
Well, now that Odegaard's back, I don't know if starting Nwaneri is like the
He doesn't need to be a creator. Did you see where Odegaard? You guys saw where Odegaard was playing today, like kind of
right
like
wing almost.
right wing, but in that half space, kind of next to Saka, but not where Saka is. Saka was even playing more inside and Odegaard outside. You know those little like chips he was doing over the top? That's fine. Keep Odegaard there. And Nwaneri can be more central, bro. Did you see the way this guy moves with the ball?
Yeah, but
so
then
deceptive.
Who do you take out of that midfield?
Mikel Merino, if you're taking that out,
Mikel Merino?
Yeah, but he's not a starter. He's not a starter.
he is a starter.
Mikel Merino.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
You guys
well, then
did,
Arte
Arsenal-
or Mikel Merino, which one's
Artie
the
was
starter?
good today.
But you guys have been starting both at the same time.
Well, at some points we were starting all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Marino, Party, and Rice, and I wanted to knock my eyes out.
Maybe the issue with Arteta is that he's not flexible enough. Like he needs to understand that a Party, Declan Rice midfield is good for some games. Others, you need to have a more attacking-minded midfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these are 2 DMs in essence. If you maybe add like, I don't know, Mikel Merino, I would say is also a DM. You see, the issue maybe is also depth. They're lacking like a.
box to box for Mikel.
They could do that, but
But
then you have
it's
3
'cause
DMs
Mikel-
playing
likes
box to
Mikel
box.
Spanish.
You
That's why
you
he
know
likes
Mikel Arteta has, and it's obvious through all of his signings that all his midfielders are above 6'3". Like they there's a physical profile
likes his
to
set
his
pieces.
signings. Yes, and look, I'm not saying that's bad, but brother, after you already have Gabriel, you already have Saliba, you already have Declan Rice. How many more demons on set pieces do you need? You don't need 12. You don't need all 11 people to be above 6
I mean, it's
foot.
shit, it's
You have a
been working.
Havertz who's 6'3".
I wouldn't
also.
say that's a problem at all. You
I
actually
don't know.
want a taller team. If the
Yeah,
players are
but-
good,
I'm not saying that these players don't exist. Like Paul Pogba exists, but it's a unicorn. You need a player that's going to open up the defense. That's not Odegaard or Saka. Like the left side is completely neglected.
That's true.
And Martinelli's not the same player as he was 2 years ago.
listen,
Let's just address the elephant in the room.
No,
the
no.
brother is not the same player as he was 2 years ago. Not
address.
saying he's a useless player, but he's just not the 25 goals and assist player that he was.
I know, but he's still useful.
Yeah, I'm not. I said he's
Still
useful.
very useful.
But-
Like today, we saw that.
Like
He's
he
not a
shouldn't
core
necessarily be
player
an on-and-on
anymore.
Starter, yeah, I agree.
Bro, just imagine like a Jeremy Doku instead of a Martinelli in that position.
I would see a Cavaradona in there.
Yes.
Left
Yeah,
wing.
but yeah, I
I'm
think
saying having a
Cavani's more
threat
the
from both
caliber.
wings, having a threat from both wings completely changes it because, like Inter, we get Arsenal. Last thing about Arsenal, they get into this repetitive pattern of play
Yeah.
that becomes so predictable.
Well,
and
pass to
that's
Saka
why.
or pass to
trying to
Odegaard.
break, bro, without Odegaard versus
what I'm saying.
Inter, bro. Inzaghi figured
might
it
have
out.
to be
He
It was
figured it
very,
out.
It was very calculated. You kind of know okay where they're gonna be. What's the
But let's be
process
honest,
here, what's
bro.
the move.
Your defenders stood on their head. Bisek had one of the best center back matches I've seen in a minute, bro.
Bro,
You guys
Guy
wanna
like
talk
take
about
block
it?
shots.
I'll take that.
Boy, we might as well talk about it.
Let's jump
We're
into
edging
it.
it.
We could get into the Champions League. Listen, the overarching theme here is that English teams in the Champions League, especially this week, have not done well. Man City 4-1, Arsenal 1-0 loss. The only good team was Liverpool 4-0. They showed that they were the leaders. Listen, there's stuff that needs to be fixed here with the English teams mainly.
I've been saying this about English teams. The Premier League has talent, but is not technical in any sense. Serie A is the best technical league in the world, and I stand by that.
If you look historically, though, the English teams make it furthest in Champions League.
They don't, bro.
If you
Klopp,
take
that
an
a fact?
average,
Pep
if you
and
take an
Klopp do.
average,
Pep and Klopp do because they are not Premier League managers.
Okay,
Klopp
sure.
has had success
if
elsewhere.
you take
and
an
Pep also.
average of teams, well, no, that's just
Don't make up facts, Barbara. You're about to make up
I'm
a
not.
fact.
If you
just
take
made
an
up a fact.
average of the top teams, we make it the furthest.
I think maybe in the
Because of Man City and Liverpool.
Yes.
What they don't? Okay, so take out from the Bundesliga, take out Borussia Dortmund, and take out Bayern Munich, and then let's calculate the.
Did I say
the-
Bundesliga was good?
And for let's take out Inter and let's take out Milan, and then let's calculate the Serie A.
What a change.
We would still be, bro. Roma, technically, based on coefficient, European coefficient, is at sixth team in the world.
Brother-
The sixth best team in the world.
Because they won Europa League. It has nothing to do with
But
CL. We're
Barbara,
talking about CL
I didn't
here.
talk about CL. I'm
However-
talking about teams in Europe. Italian teams are the hardest teams to play versus, and La Liga teams are close
that are
second.
not English teams.
Bro, Aston Villa lost to Club Brugge.
You're using one-off
Man
games.
City lost to Sporting.
You're using one-off games.
Bro, you're
to
acting
the-
like Brighton-
Right before this match week in CL, the top 3 teams were all English. So why are you using one match week to determine 7 years of history?
But then why are you using 3 match games? 3 match games in the Champions League so far to determine? Oh, the top three were English. That's they're the best in the world.
Because
It goes both
3
ways.
samples. Here, Millie, I'll teach you about stats. A
Yeah, no
sample
problem. I'll
size.
get my notebook out for
A
you, bro.
sample size of
Stupid. Go open the
A
TV.
sample size of 3 is bigger than a sample size of 1.
Okay.
So your stats are more accurate.
What about
if they come
Fiorentina?
from
What about
3
Brighton last
than
season?
1.
What
Yeah,
about all
and
these
then
teams
let's
that
count-
lose
let's
every
count
other
the
year?
amount of trophies won
Yeah,
by
you
You see
Italian
the
Roma,
teams.
issue.
Brighton.
You see the issue.
You see the issue is
No.
the issue
The
is
issue is
why
that
did we get the most?
when English
why did
teams
Serie A get the most spots
when
in Europe?
English teams
Facts.
beat other
Why is
leagues,
that?
we don't remember it because it's just a normal occurrence.
Bro, see, that's
when
not a
teams
stat.
like-
That's a lie.
when
See,
teams-
that's not a stat.
When teams like
That's just
when teams
bullshit.
like Fiorentina beat Brighton, you automatically go back to it because it's like, oh my God, Fiorentina beat Brighton.
But you
it's
can't-
not
okay, so
expected.
you need
So
to
tell me
agree
when a
that-
Serie A team beat a Premier League team. When a Premier League team beat a Serie A
I
team.
don't
Name
know.
me.
It's just I don't remember it.
Oh wow, you don't remember because it doesn't happen much.
Yeah, sure.
Bro, I'm telling
What do you
you,
mean it doesn't happen
in
much?
Europa League and
Arsenal-
Conference
Let's
League.
talk about stats. Let's talk about stats.
Okay.
Oh, you know what's bigger than 3? The 6 games Arsenal played in Italy and haven't scored a single goal.
Millie, calm
Let's talk
down,
about
please.
stats.
Millie,
Want to talk
calm
about
down.
stats? Let's talk about stats, bro.
What happened? Well, Atalanta?
Arsenal have not scored on Italian soil in about 6 games, brother. 6
Zero.
games. 0,
Zero.
0, 0, 0. I'm telling you.
What's the 6 games? I would like to know
I'm
because I know
conflicted.
Atalanta,
Juventus was
Inter,
one of them?
Juventus. They play
No.
Juventus.
Brother, I'm telling
Trying to
you.
get involved.
I'm telling you.
Yo, this is interesting.
English teams in Italy fare very, very poorly.
Well, listen.
Very poor.
Well, Man City also. You guys had a clean sheet with them.
You could go back 20 years, 25 years to find the odd stat
Yeah.
of English teams versus Italian teams. It's very storied.
There's a clear tactical difference between the English teams and the Italian teams.
And you
they
know
get
what?
dominated.
And don't listen to us, brother. Listen to the coaches. Listen to Arteta saying right after the Atalanta game, man, Atalanta play man. like as if it's like some novel idea. Oh, well, we can't play this way.
There was that conversation all week about Italian teams playing man to man and like struggling to defend that. And
Fonseca, I mean, if it's worth anything, he's a Serie A manager, but he did say playing in Serie A is extremely difficult compared to his experience.
And listen, that's not anything new. I think just because the quality of Italian football from 2010 to 2020 was just very, very poor, bar Juventus. Juventus basically carried in European competitions for about a decade,
let's say.
Exactly. So that idea is still brought into the 2020s, where it's like it's startling that Inter and Milan go deep in the Champions League. It's startling that Roma go deep. Startling that Fiorentina go deep.
Even Napoli.
Why? Before the 2010s, we were a common occurrence in the semifinals, quarterfinals, in every single Champions League. You go back a decade before that, in the 90s, we were winning Europa, we were winning UEFA
But
Cups.
it's not the
Champions League
90s or the 2000s.
I know, and that's fair, but
yes.
that's not what he's proving. Bro, La Liga had an era of dominance with Villarreal, Sevilla dominating the Europa League
Up
before the
until, I would
Conference
say,
League.
like 2018.
Yes. And then they had Real Madrid and Barca dominating the Champions League.
2021.
Now the times have changed, and I'm saying it's back to Serie A being overall the most dominant league in Europe. Bro,
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm saying it, bro. But
it's tough.
why
The
did we
toughest
get
league, I
9
would
teams
say.
in Europe this season? Clearly, there's a
Yes.
coefficient.
The thing is that the teams that are in Europe are good, but then we talk about the table. The bottom teams in the Serie A are obviously lesser quality than the Prem
There's
ones.
2 points that split the top 6 in Serie A. Do you know what that means?
Yes, the top 7 are good.
The top team has 26 points. 6th place, Juventus, has 24 points.
It's very
Brother, this is
competitive.
the most competitive league in the world.
Varvar looks like he has a bit
Grin,
of a
bro,
smirk.
grin.
But you know it. When a Man City goes against Inter, they're struggling.
Like,
Pepa
you
said it.
thought it was an anomaly that we tied
Brother,
Man
now
City.
everyone's slapping around Man City except Inter. Inter didn't slap around Man City. Inter's the only team who didn't beat Man
Did
City
we
as
play
of
Man
recently.
City last week?
They beat
Did
Arsenal.
did we play Man City last
Bro,
week?
Spurs beat Man City.
Bro,
Everyone beat Man City. Sporting beat Man City,
And
bro.
who started that trend? Who started that trend? When Man City faced Inter, where was Man City?
Bro,
They were still the favorites in the Premier League. They still had Rodri. They still had their top team. They play their A team against Inter. We still
Victor
tied 0-0.
Gyökeres scored a hat trick, and Lautaro did shit all.
What did
Nothing.
Aston Villa do though?
What do you mean?
Club
Aston
Brugge.
Villa? Aston Villa are still
Ollie
in the top
Watkins,
8
now, what a guy.
of the Champions League.
I'm just saying they lost to Club Brugge. That's an easy win.
That's not an easy win.
Milan beat 3-1. Club
Aston
Brugge.
Villa beat Bayern Munich. So what's your point?
Bayern Munich is not good then.
Yeah, sure.
They had a slight dip in form, and now all of a sudden they're winning every game. So I'm talking about Bayern Munich there.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
listen, I think you highly undervalue Italian performances, and I do think that, let's say on that side of the couch, it's at a higher standard. I think there's a bit of a middle ground.
What is?
Like, I don't think necessarily that Italy is the home of the premier football in all of Europe. I think we're
But
second.
why are we speaking about Italy? The Bundesliga teams have fared better in Europe than Serie A teams in the last couple of years. Yes, they have.
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich made a Champions League semis last year, and
Dortmund
Dortmund
final.
made a Champions League final. Like
Well, Germany football is on the come
yes,
up.
Yes.
I'm
last
not
season.
saying
We
it's
all
bad,
know
but
that, yeah.
Serie A, like last year, they're the only people I think who made it to the round of 16 of Champions League and they lost.
Oh, good.
penalties, but whatever.
You
not
still
talking about
lost
last
to
season.
Yeah, but let's talk about this season. Even Milan against Real Madrid. Like, Italian football is back. That's what we're
Real
saying.
Madrid are not that
Now
good
they're
this
shit.
season. Not that good.
But this is the trend. They're good until they play an Inter.
That's it, yeah.
They're good until they play a Milan or a Juve. Then all of a sudden throw that
Man
out the
City,
window.
we just did almost a 30-minute conversation, I'm assuming, about how shit they are.
Were we having that conversation when they were facing Inter? No.
Everyone since Inter has slapped them around.
That's not my problem, brother. We
And that's
faced them
also
when
a
they were
lie.
at the top.
That's also just a lie.
That is also.
you
We
did
faced them when
not.
they were at the top, bro. Look at the look at the games.
I promise you, Rodri
before
didn't play
Inter.
that game.
It's not about if Rodri played, bro.
It is because
It's about the form they had.
literally the entire team.
Excuses, that's
Bro,
what I hear.
after the Man City Inter game, which was 0-0,
Bro, they didn't lose a
they
game.
tied Arsenal, they beat Watford, they tied Newcastle, they
Rodri
won.
Oh, Rodri
Win,
played.
Win.
As if I told you 2 minutes ago that Rodri played.
Grealish played, so result
Yeah.
automatically
Result
out the door.
window. Listen, I think English teams have a lot of cleaning up to do for the remainder of the Champions League.
One loss changes everything.
No,
See,
it's
like, that's
not
a little
one
bit
loss.
reactionary,
I don't
though.
think it's one loss because we would have said, oh, that's just one loss with City. Then they end up losing 4. Oh, that's one loss with Aston Villa. They beat Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but
they
to,
end up losing
to say
3 out
that
of
like
4.
Man City cannot fare in Champions League. Like I don't know if that's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they need to clean it up.
Okay,
for
so
the
Liverpool,
remainder.
I disagree with that.
Liverpool
No, I
are
don't do that.
first. Liverpool are first.
Like, you
Aston
see
Villa,
Liverpool?
Aston Villa are 8th. Man City are 10th. And where's the last Premier League team? Where Arsenal are 12th.
Aston Villa, did you say?
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1, 8, 10, and 12. So this Atalanta that you guys are probably going to hype up
They're
are
ninth.
lower than Aston Villa.
They're 9th.
They're lower than Aston Villa.
Bro, I'm
So-
not talking about this
Yeah,
season. I'm
but-
not talking
You're
about this
looking at-
Champions League table. I'm looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I watch both leagues, and this is my 2 favorite leagues. And I maybe a little bit, I was exaggerating a bit when I said Serie A, I'm probably the
I
best
get
in the
hyped like
world.
that too, brother.
I was just getting a little bit hyper, sorry. But I watch the Premier League, and they don't rely on tactics because their players are just so talented. They have the best talent pool in the world, and they just rely on the players being that good to win games. And it's just, and it makes the most entertaining football. Remember when we were talking about entertaining football? The premise entertaining because they have the best players in the world.
And come CL, player talent always beats
It
tactics.
doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
It
It
does.
just doesn't.
Most of the time it does.
No,
That's
it
why Real
doesn't.
Madrid always win Champions League.
That's why
No.
Borussia Dortmund win the Champions League final.
Atletico's always done
Yeah.
well based on tactics. Always. They're the prime
Bro,
example.
Dortmund beat who did Dortmund beat?
Figure it out.
For what?
PSG. Who else did they beat?
When?
Yeah, but in this new
They
format
were
now,
they played
it's
shitty
different.
teams.
But that's the bro. Is that tactics or is that talent to get to the CL final?
When you're
Bro,
playing
Dortmund.
shitty ass teams,
Tactics.
Bro,
They beat Mbappe.
What you want
They
the
beat
Super League,
Mbappe.
bro, we see Mbappe now.
But you just keep making excuse like it's always
Mbappe last
excuses.
year.
Excuses.
Mbappe last
Bro,
year.
Mbappe was shit
No
last
way,
year,
we're
bro.
not rating Mbappe now.
Shit,
Last year had over
bro.
40 goals. I don't know what you're talking about.
They beat PSG over 2 legs. That's a
PSG
feat.
PSG, if Araujo wasn't such an idiot, would not have beaten Barcelona.
Just excuses, bro.
That's not
the
excuses, but
Again with the scenarios.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, I don't even know what we were talking about.
But listen, we could get into the individual results. Listen, we could start off with Inter Arsenal quickly. Me and Paolo were having this conversation before because we got like there's some skin in the game.
Inter shit.
The argument is that Arsenal dominated. Arsenal should have won that game. I disagree with that to a certain extent. I do think
I disagree as well. But
I do
Don't
think,
trust me, bro. Trust the stats.
you can't sit here and lie and
No.
say that you didn't scam a pen out of that game.
okay, no problem. Let me go check my Cash App. Maybe I sent it to the ref. I scammed it. Brother, it's
You
not my
scammed-
decision.
you-
It's not my decision.
But was
the
it
ref gave a
worthy-
pen?
Like you're at home.
Was it a pen?
Arsenal?
Listen, I would say, brother, it was a handball. Why not? I don't know why it's not a pen.
That's a long way of saying no.
But I don't know why it's not a pen. Because you think the proximity was too
No,
close.
I don't know why it's a pen. I don't know why it isn't a pen.
Are you happy
No,
with that
that's what I
performance?
mean. I don't
though?
know why it isn't a pen.
Are you
It's-
happy with the performance?
Yeah.
At home, you're locking up, park the bus.
B team Inter. Just get the best results you possibly can.
There's an
Bro, you
inferiority
shit also.
complex.
No, it's just we prioritized another game.
Bro,
and
every
that was
single
it.
single game Inter go into, they play possession football. We're trying to pass around you, break out the back. And then this game, it was okay, ball, launch it to the
Thuram.
furthest Inter player possible.
Okay. And then
But it was like that
Arsenal,
from the jump.
So then Arsenal, at what point, like how many crosses does it take for Arteta to say, you know what, this isn't really working?
Melly, you had 11 players in the box. What else do you want us to do?
Brother, this isn't really working.
Do you want us
Maybe we
to
should
tiki
try.
taka through the box?
Brother, try something else. Because
Try
clearly
what?
you're trying to cross it into 3 defenders that are over 6'2", 6'3",
listen,
Pep
defensively,
did
it was
the
a
same thing
masterclass.
versus you. Pep did the exact same thing.
and it didn't work.
I know
Like,
it didn't work because
like-
you guys have 11 men in the box because you're playing inferiority bitch ball.
It's not really inferiority bitch ball, bro. We
I
were
would hate
getting
to be a fan of
opportunities.
Inter watching those games.
It is inferiority.
It's not inferiority,
Inshallah, a penalty call is what you really did.
It's you're praying for a first half pen and then you're
so
sitting back.
So then what's the result then? We don't get a penalty. 0-0. Same
It's
as Man City.
0-0. It should have been
Yeah.
a draw. That game should have been a draw.
Should have been a draw, but that's not what happened, did it?
Okay.
That's
Listen,
not
I'm
what
just
happened.
trying to
I
tick you
think-
off, Millie, but
No, no,
Inzaghi
I-
coached the masterclass.
I honestly think Arsenal, they played their game well at the beginning, kind of, because it's like they were getting threatening balls in, but then once that was figured out, it was very one-dimensional from Arsenal. So you look at the stats. Okay, Arsenal won in the possession game. Arsenal won the corner game, won the shot game,
Won the XG game.
but nothing came out of it.
But
the
the
momentum
thing, I don't know, like to me, watching that, I'm not convinced on my team locking up for 90 minutes against Arsenal. It doesn't
But I
tell
wasn't
me.
worried. But the thing
weren't
is,
worried?
I wasn't really
You
that
were
worried.
definitely,
watching?
like, kind of.
I was kind
We
of
were
just like,
watching
okay.
with you, bro.
Yeah, it was like, okay, that
This
one
nonchalant
Dumfries-
gimmick is not passing.
worried. I was
already.
One Dumfries
the
off the line.
popcorn.
One Dumfries off the line. I was like, okay, that's a little iffy.
Yeah.
But everything else, brother, I was like, okay, standard.
Yeah, but this is not a consistent way of winning.
I agree. But this is this
He
was a
went,
time.
bro, you remember when he took
What?
a call outside the room and then I went, oh my God, this brother sprinted back to the room to see
Yeah,
what happened on the
because I'm not
television.
watching the
but-
game.
Bro, I wasn't worried, bro. I wasn't worried.
I wasn't watching the game, but when I hear these two fucking dimwits fucking going, oh my God, 90-something minutes, 92nd minute, what? I'm just not gonna react.
Millie, I have a question. You might have seen this. How many shots on target do you think Inter had?
One. The pen.
No way.
Brother,
Oh, that's
we got
bad.
up, we said, okay, defensive masterclass incoming.
But that's why.
But Arteta did not break it.
But you only
Did not
got
break
up
it
at the
down.
40 at the 40-something minute, no?
Brother, it really doesn't matter.
That means it was 43 minutes
It
of
wasn't
nothingness.
it wasn't like inshallah ball.
It was. It was.
No, it wasn't. Brother, we all watched this game.
That's haram ball.
Brother, it really wasn't as bad as you thought
Listen,
until we
credit
went
to
up.
Inter though. They did play their B team.
Brother, we had no Rice, no Odegaard.
Yes, but
Brother,
you're supposed
were-
to be better than
we
that.
were starting
Bastoni off.
Mikel
You're supposed to be
Marino.
better than
Bastoni
And
off.
Partey.
DiMarco off.
They-
Thuram
yeah,
off.
come on. Give them
Shit,
credit.
ass, overrated.
Yeah, there we go. Anyways, I'm happy with the result. I don't think that Arsenal
Happy with the
could've ran
result,
away
but not
with
the
it.
performance. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, but defensively, I'm good with it. I'm happy with
One
that.
shot on target.
And
Okay,
offensively,
but if that's what was needed to win, that's the game plan that Inzaghi came with.
that's not reliable.
I wanted this to be a scrap, brother. I wanted this to be 2-2,
too.
3-2 Inter win, like back and forth slugfest. But that, brother, I'm
no,
not.
but it's not
Inzaghi.
about going back and forth. It's about being the superior team. You were not the superior team, unfortunately.
Firms
I
over
don't.
two
No,
legs.
you're confusing possession. You're confusing.
I'm not.
Chance. Yes, you are.
You
Because
had one
bro,
shot on target.
Yes, and how many crosses
But
actually
that was
were
the pen.
threatening?
That was the pen.
That's even a pen.
So then, how
zero
many
shots on
crosses were
target.
actually threatening?
A lot. We
None.
generated almost 2 XG.
Brother, brother, you watched the game. None of those crosses actually did something. They were complete boom.
Do you know
boom,
how XG
out,
works?
Boom, out.
But you know how XG works.
Defensively,
And then
you guys were
defensively, we
great.
were fantastic.
Great. Extraordinary.
Okay, that was the game. That
But
was the
that's
game
not
plan.
enough.
Bro,
Like-
Bisek had one
Yeah.
block where it basically stopped the goal.
Yes.
Bro,
That's defense.
Dumfries stopped the ball off the line.
Those are two instances that went over 90 minutes.
And you were at home too.
instances.
But those are just two off
Who
my dome.
cares
No,
about
there
the
were
home?
two
And you got a
You have-
shitty handball
my God.
penalty call.
You have
I saw
70,000 people
I saw
watching
Arsenal
you.
fans all of a sudden, they got into a fit about the format. Oh, I would have loved to have faced Inter at home at the Emirates. As if
Bro,
the San Siro didn't
at
make
the
Arsenal
Emirates, bro,
shit in their pants.
At the Emirates, you'd be like this, bro.
No,
Over
absolutely
two
not.
legs, bro.
Okay, maybe if we had Venezia and Lecce on one side of one Sunday and then the other Sunday, no problem. But when we have Napoli the next day and then we already played a game 3 days before, brother, I'm sorry. We had to make a rotation. We had a game plan.
Cap. Milan pulled up at
Bro,
the Bernabeu and scored 3 goals
bro,
on Real
we-
That's
Madrid.
Real Madrid. Okay,
We had
that's Chelsea.
Chelsea
and
this
then-
Do your
weekend.
thing,
and
bro.
then-
And then
and-
what? 3-3 versus Cagliari. 3-3 versus
But
Cagliari.
the fact is that we beat Real Madrid 3-1 and we played entertaining football and we were convincing.
Congratulations. I didn't realize entertaining football counted for more points, brother. I didn't realize that counted for more
So,
points.
so you're saying next game against Arsenal, you play like that again, you're going to win again?
If we win like that,
I
no
guess
problem.
we'll never know.
I guess we'll never. To me,
If we
I
win
would
like
say
that, no
no.
problem.
I don't
Okay.
think that's sustainable.
Bro, I need Inter, Arsenal, round of
It's
16.
okay. It's okay to say you scammed the victory. Like,
But-
it's okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a scam. Let's say it was a 50-50 game that didn't go Arsenal's way. That's it. We played our game. Arsenal tried to play their game over, and we see it in the Premier League, bro. They try to do the same thing over and over again. What happens? They don't get results. This isn't an anomaly. It's not like Inter came in and we're like the underdogs.
He's low-key spin. He's low-key spin.
Brother, please.
I'm just pissing him off for content, but he's spitting.
There's no content here. Nothing's getting clipped.
Clip
And-
explode.
He's getting clipped.
But no, Inzaghi's a serious manager.
We've been saying
that was
it,
a
world
that
class.
was a well. Listen,
I wouldn't say perfect. I don't
that
think
was
it was perfect.
It wasn't perfect, but that's a very
the type
good
of manager
performance.
you sack Arteta for if you can get a chance of getting him.
Yeah, but then I end up playing that ball.
No, you actually play
like
decent
Arteta
ball.
plays
Bro,
any better.
I play bitch ball, bro.
No, but what, for one game? No problem, I'll take it. Every other game, we're playing
Bro,
fluid football.
versus anyone you play big, that happens.
Would you take Inzaghi
really.
or Arteta? I know you would say Inzaghi.
Zaggy.
Inzaghi?
I can't answer that.
You can't answer.
Not
plead the
right now,
fifth?
not right now.
I'll
Because
take
can't answer
Inzaghi.
if he says Inzaghi, then it's Arteta out.
I can't answer
True.
the question.
True.
That's what it
Depends. If I'm starting from the mud, I think I'd rather Arteta. But if I already have like
Inzaghi
From the
did
mud.
start from the
Really
mud,
wanted-
bro.
Bro, Inzaghi was in the mud.
He
Fuck
is
you
the
mean,
mud.
bro? He just inherited a Scudetto team, bro.
With no budget, we had to sell a player every
So
summer.
what? Arsenal literally he
No,
bro,
you can't compare that.
You can't compare. You
what?
cannot compare.
They sold
You cannot
Hakimi,
compare.
Lukaku.
Bro,
The
Arteta
other guy,
grabbed
the other
a team with Lacazette,
It was
fuck
bad.
all these
It was bad.
shitters, bro.
That ain't my problem. That ain't my problem.
With a generation, bro. They were in the middle of their biggest banter era
Millie,
in their
bro,
club's
come
history.
on.
We just-
Come
brother,
on,
we
Inter
sold
survived
Lukaku.
with free
Dog shit
transfers.
team, bro.
But that's Marotta. That's not him.
Yes, but that's the team that he's
the team.
been dealt with.
Bro, imagine you're a
But what
coach
do you
coming
achieve
in.
with it?
What do you mean?
Just a
CL
Champions League final, Super Cup.
Maybe.
Supercopa?
But,
Yeah.
but, Arsenal, bro, you inherited a system that was already winning the
Yes,
Scudetto.
that's just right place, right time for Inzaghi. But I honestly, what he did with Lazio, brother, he was
Okay.
winning Coppa Italia left, right,
Bro,
and
you
center.
wanna-
We can speak about this all day.
Anyways,
We will eventually.
Inter beat Arsenal. When it comes down to it, boils down to.
Well, it boils down to it. Our Inter got 3 points. Arsenal
Yeah.
got none. Next game up, Man City Sporting. Amorim City. Amorim show, bro. Gyökeres show.
Gyökeres
I
show.
mean, we don't need to speak about it
Man
that
City
long.
shit. Man City's ass.
We
Premier
already
League's
spoke
ass.
about Man City.
Yeah, I think we boiled. It boils down to Man City's ass.
Millie's
and
having a
Premier League's
one-man
ass.
podcast.
There we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
But
tuning in.
a lot of promise as a Manchester United fan watching that game because it's not just like that wasn't an Inter victory.
When
that
you-
was
when you
like
realize-
that
when you
was
realize
domination.
Luke Shaw's going to have to run a 40-yard dash.
I do agree with that.
Like that was a game where you come out and say Man City got dominated.
Yep. No problem.
Yep.
From start to
And he
finish.
won't be able to do that with Man United.
That's the jury's out on that one. So we'll
Bro,
see.
you don't
have to
have you
see.
don't have
Thank
that.
you.
You don't have. Listen, when he that like
Trying to
going back,
act like Sporting have a super squad is crazy.
they don't. But they have the exact players that Amorim needs.
Yeah,
in his
sure. He's
system.
going to be a couple of years down the line, but we'll see
I
that.
agree.
But you're going to see flashes of that.
I agree. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, so
But-
I'm
but-
not expecting to be Man City 4-1.
But I
come
will
the end
laugh
of the
at you
season.
for the rest of the season until Amorim gets his transfers.
I mean, Sporting got Man City in a bad patch of form too. So we're gonna talk about Inter getting
Who started that?
That
form?
is true.
Yeah.
Inter
Who said that?
tied Man City, by the way, but Sporting beat them 4-1.
in a bad patch of form after
They don't got
games in a
Gyökeres.
row.
Yeah, that
Coldest
Gyökeres
celebration.
better than Lautaro.
Coldest celebration in the
Right
game.
now, you gotta say yes. I'm not even gonna deny.
They didn't care until I put the mask on.
They didn't care.
But you see the baby?
Yeah.
He goes and
The
see a
baby
little
had a baby.
baby, and then the guy's like a toddler.
He's like 4 years old. How do you know
Who
about
taught you this?
Bro, the aura that this guy oozes and Gyökeres.
Bro, you're acting like he's a
bro.
Manchester
What
United
the
player, bro.
Bro.
Why
They
you
joining you, bro?
Why you keep acting like Gyökeres is going to Man United, bro?
because
He ain't.
bro,
I've never seen a more
I'm in a
Arsenal
win-win.
player.
I'm in a win-win situation right now because
not.
either Højlund turns good or I get Gyökeres.
But
So
were the rumors true that Amorim is saying that Gyökeres shouldn't join Man United? I saw a couple
in
of...
January.
Okay.
But in the summer,
maybe in the summer he
said
would.
in the summer,
Red carpet.
Yeah, Amorim said in his press conference along the lines of, "January, don't worry, I won't buy anyone, but summertime, we got a free run at these boys."
I know he did not say that. I know he
He
did.
said along the
Bro,
lines.
rebuild in real life.
Amorim at Sporting did not speak about Manchester United at all. The brother made sure to, bro. That's a good manager, bro.
Respect.
Did you see an English
Top
manager?
10 respect moment.
An English
Respect.
journalist tried to go to Amorim in a game right after one of his last Sporting games,
Yeah.
the one right before the Man City game, and ask him like a question about Manchester United.
Yeah.
And he asked him in English, and then he said, "Can you answer in English, please?" And then
Yeah, that went viral.
Amorim answers in Portuguese, saying like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And then the translator is like, "No, he's gonna answer in Portuguese." And then basically saying, "As long as I'm at Sporting, I'm speaking Portuguese because my
Good,
fans are
Good.
Portuguese."
Stand on business, bro.
Bro, Man
like that.
United don't deserve such a stand-up guy, bro.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the Pep successor.
Yeah.
By the way.
They had him lined up as if Pep
BTW.
left.
Linked everywhere.
No, he was
Chelsea
linked
too.
specifically as
City.
like when Pep leaves, they have him lined up as the successor.
Well, because of the Sporting
and Man
director
City
of the city.
CEO who left this summer for Manchester United, they're saying that he knew the plan was to take him to Manchester
Damn.
City, so he took him at
He
Manchester
took the
United.
Man City files and put them
Yeah.
in the Man
That's
United
crazy,
folder.
Crazy work.
Yeah, exactly. So
Undercover.
We're
That's
That's got to be
cooking.
illegal somehow.
Here, he said literally word for
Inside
word.
out for the
charges.
Fabrizio Romano said, "I will not sign." Well, Ruben Amorim said, Fabrizio Romano reporting, "I will not sign any Sporting player at Man United in January. Then what happens in the summer? I don't know."
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll wash my hands on it.
Sporting players are good players. We will see what happens. He said.
That's a political aspect.
That's a nonchalant.
They are trained.
They're very good answers.
The
Very
best
good,
answers.
very good players.
But yeah, and then
Aston Villa.
Liverpool, Aston Villa. Well, we can go
Liverpool,
into
Aston
it.
Villa.
Liverpool 2-0. That was
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
good performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Real Madrid just got beat at
Liverpool-
home by Milan 3-1.
We don't care
That
about
doesn't
that
really
one.
matter. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no.
Embarrassed
clearly
at the
nobody cares.
Bernabeu.
Bro.
Embarrassed.
Bro, you
Has
almost
Leao
put Ancelotti
found
on
his form
stilts.
again?
Leao is he's pretty good right now.
Scored versus
He's back.
Cagliari. That's his level.
Yeah.
4 games on the bench will do that to Leao.
He needed that.
needed
I told you guys he needed that, and look what we got.
We'll see if that lasts.
I think it will.
Because I think that negative feeling you have towards the manager, yeah, it might leave for a couple games, but then it always ends up coming back.
I don't
No.
know. Leao seems pretty. Leao
He
seems pretty
looks
resilient.
content.
Like he seems like that shit doesn't like.
Motivated.
No, I don't even know, bro. Leao's always happy.
He's always smiling.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip of I think it was Lucas Vasquez that he cooked? He's just smiling. Like he's
Like
always.
we can't jump to conclusions, but Leao never
But
seems like he's
that's
hated
a
manager.
player you want to watch. You understand? You don't have that at Manchester United. You don't have that, bro.
No,
Who do you?
this is true.
Rashford.
Yeah, who do you wanna
Oh
watch,
my God,
bro?
Garnacho.
There we go. Now we started it.
Oh my
Who do you
God,
want to
bro.
watch, bro?
Now we started it.
You think you pull up with Manchester United at the Bernabeu and you beat them 3-1? Menu, bro, reindeers. Talk about reindeers.
With Amarim, yeah.
Reindeers would cook.
Hypotheticals yet again.
Bro, when has Amrin ever used a Maino type midfielder and made you like, wow?
Morita.
Oh, in the one game you
Morita.
watched the sport team?
Exactly. Bro,
Crazy
4-2
work,
come
bro.
back today. Crazy manager, by the way.
Trincao, bro. Making Trincao look good.
but-
2024.
Can we officially confirm, and this will be spoken about on the power rankings later on, in how many weeks are in power rankings? 2 more weeks?
No, I think like in a
Undecided,
week.
bro. Don't be
Okay,
leaking
undecided.
But Real Madrid's
schedule.
dropping.
Figure it out. We gotta check the schedule.
Are Liverpool the best team in Europe right now? I think it kind of goes uncontested.
Bro, I thought this stretch of form, you know, everyone was talking about this crazy hard stretch of form. I mean, it's about to finish with the Real Liverpool. Bro, I thought they were yet to play that because these results have been so good. But listen, they beat Brighton twice. They had results versus
Yep.
every big team that they've played. I don't
Leverkusen
see
4-0.
why we're not putting them number
Their
one.
best team, bro. In my opinion, it's clear, especially after this Man City Arsenal fall off. Barcelona lost.
Oh, by the way, our Barca fans, we're going to talk about you at the end.
If I had a cigar right now,
Honestly, I was kind of low key thinking about it.
like
Imagine we just do a cigar.
a
and just
whiskey and a cigar, right now, that would be perfect. Right now, discussing a Barcelona loss.
some Shannon Sharp stuff
Yeah,
right there.
honestly, do we got a bottle of champagne?
Maybe. Gotta
Pop up
check. I gotta
Prosecco,
check the
bro.
top.
Yeah,
I gotta
damn,
check
bro.
the top shelf.
One loss changes your life.
Yeah.
Bro, because me and Vava,
Yeah, you've been waiting for that one, huh?
These comments are gonna be so nice to read because it's gonna be a probably, I don't know, Real Madrid fans, you could show out, but it might be a ghost town this week in the comment section.
Gulp.
Why?
Gulp.
Because bro, now they're not, all these Barca fans are not gonna be talking in the comments. Yeah?
They ain't gonna be
Barca,
there.
You
they ain't
guys
gonna
are
be barking in the comments this week, Barca fans.
I mean, you're.
bro, keep DMing us, bro.
Keep
them
DMing me
coming.
death threats,
Keep
bro.
them coming.
I'll keep
Bro, I
reading them,
started
bro.
getting them too. I thought it was just you.
Don't let them rage bait you guys.
Bro.
You guys are smarter than that.
You guys gotta stay strong.
I don't think there's the Barca fans. I don't think there's
I
smarter
my
than
God.
that.
I didn't get many DMs after
Oh no,
today's.
no, that Manchester United one too.
I didn't get many DMs after today's game saying where are Barca going to be in this week's power ranking.
Guys,
I didn't get many of them.
That's crazy. One loss is gonna change a lot of things for.
I hope you
Sociedad.
drop Real Madrid though. I hope
All
you
I
drop
know
them.
is that Lewandowski needs to drop shoe sizes
Just a bit.
Bro, oh my God, that offside call.
because
Atrocious.
that was a clear
Atrocious.
offside.
Clear offside.
Clear.
Oh, you're
Rage
starting
bait.
it, brother.
Rage
You're
bait. Rage
starting
bait.
it. He's starting. Listen, they called it offside.
Brother,
offside.
it's not my fault that your shoe size is, brother.
Why don't they show the other angle? They only show the one angle that you can't really even
Good.
see.
That's a Florentino Perez special right
Yeah.
there.
That's it. They couldn't pay the extra 15 mil for it.
Madridista, sit down, bro.
Listen, it's really unfortunate. There was actually a couple good results this past week and this weekend and stuff. Listen, Firms. I
hate
kind of
watching.
want to touch on it because we didn't get a chance to this week. But Firms, Milan, Real Madrid.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, we already kind of.
Yeah, we already
I mean,
spoke about it. It was a
He
Leao and-
doesn't want to talk about it.
He doesn't want- they don't wanna talk about it. That's why.
Leao
He
and a
knows Man United
reindeer's
would never.
masterclass. I'm not going to cap.
Reindeers.
I didn't watch the game.
I was watching Juve.
Yeah, I had better things
How
to
was
do
you?
in my life.
I didn't watch that game.
Juve?
Juve.
No,
It's a good
prefer not
game.
to speak.
I was,
Joe
I
David?
was watching Man City Sporting.
No,
You were not.
Zergova, bro. Zergova.
Zegrova.
Zegrova.
Milan fan, by the way.
Eden Grova.
Bro,
Zegrova.
baller, bro,
Baller,
baller. But I feel like that's the type of guy he won't be able to consistently put up that
He's like a
performance.
Ben Arfa.
But bro, he was cooking us.
They can always cook.
Juan Cabal did not know what hit him, bro. He looks like he's never defended in his
And
life.
there was that 16 I think.
Yes, bro.
Boadi,
Boadi in
Boadidi?
midfield.
I
I
don't
think he
know.
got the man of the match, brother.
introduced by Fonseca, by the
Loki
way.
reminds me of Ismail Kone. I know the people don't really know, but he reminds me of Ismail Kone. You know, like the deceptiveness in midfield where
He's
like
clean.
you never know where he's gonna turn. And his one touch was he had a
Mino?
serious one touch. He had a serious one touch, and he's
Mino,
like
bro.
16. So
Respect
keep
him.
an eye on some little dons.
Who ended up scoring for Juve? I forget.
Vlahovic. No.
No,
Vlahovic missed the stinker,
Weah?
actually.
Could it be Weah?
I think it was
Weah.
I think it was Weah.
Weah's been on fire.
Timothy Weah. 2 goals.
I saw a thing like Timothy Weah on rebounds in the box, and it was the video of LeBron hitting like the.
Yeah. Because it was an open net goal that he did. Yeah, I remember watching. Yeah. The Serie A teams were on top this week.
So, and look, once again, you guys know I'm first to admit.
Oh no,
when I'm wrong.
it was a Vlahovic pen.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Vlahovic,
Vlahovic
yeah.
pen.
When
we're mistaking with the other game.
Yeah.
When I'm first person to admit when I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this CL format's low-key cooking up a bit. Like it's steaming.
Ooh.
It's steaming.
It's the fixtures, bro.
it's not
You
boiling
have
yet.
to wait for them.
We'll see come the last match day if it's gonna be boring or not. But it's
gonna be a
low-key.
There's one
the
thing they can
storylines are
fix.
cooking up.
The only thing they can fix, and this is not even, I'm glad this isn't a formatting issue. This is just them being stupid. Put good games at 12:45 Eastern
I
time.
agree.
But I mean, in Europe, it'd be what, 6:45?
What would really cook is if you stagger the game.
That would be the best.
Oh,
We
okay,
said-
but they
we've been
can't. They
saying
can't do
Half
that.
an hour in
They can't,
between, bro, and then you catch the end of every
No,
game.
then
then
final match
results,
day.
results matter.
Final match day, sure, you start
Yeah,
them all
final
in
match
one.
day,
Yeah,
Yeah, but it might
every
matter
other day-
earlier too.
I don't know. It's very tough when it's like, listen, I'm not going to call them out or anything, but like it's like a Young Boys versus
Inter.
no, like Young Boys versus Leipzig at 12:45. That's the only game, and then they
Well,
have
that's a good one.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Like
And
you're getting Stuttgart versus Slovan Bratislava.
there
at
we go. There we
12:45.
now that's something. 12:45.
Enzo
But then-
Milo show.
But then 3:00. It's 12 games all at the same
why
time.
are they
It's like,
doing this?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Why? At least split them evenly. Like
They should do it over 3 days.
Are they trying to make the small teams get more coverage? Is this what,
Probably.
but bro, this isn't communism.
But I ain't gonna watch anyways.
No, but
Like, that's the problem. Like I actually put it on just for recreation. I'm like, let me see what's on. Damn, Slovan Bratislava versus the Stuttgart.
Damn, this
And I'm
might
like,
be- this might be a rerun.
Might be yeah. Let me see live. What do you mean live?
Watch the highlights.
I don't know. I don't know if it's they're trying to make the small teams get coverage, but just don't put two big games at the same time.
I agree.
You're hurting yourself, Champions League.
I agree. I strongly agree.
Yeah.
So are we gonna address the elephant in the room? Napoli, Inter.
That's the elephant in the
Inter
room.
going into international break. Not
Pretty small
on
elephant.
Serie A.
Bro, we didn't even talk about Liverpool Aston Villa. What are you talking about?
I mean, Liverpool's like Thanos right now.
We're gonna talk about them
It's-
eventually.
It really, yeah. The power rankings just wait because that's gonna be a
Power rank is going to be a
Gonna
Zuvi.
be a conversation.
Liverpool. Look, Trent hamstring injury, so we might be. I got him in FPL by the way.
And
about a
Bavara
week
offered
off.
me a trade as soon as the game finished.
Soon as it happens.
Thinking that I wouldn't
Brother,
acknowledge the
the
trade.
hamstring is back by the end of the international break.
Why you want to get rid
That's
of
the VAR guarantee right
because
there.
I got star power, bro. I need more. I need power in numbers.
Oh, so you want Reece James?
Yeah, Reece James.
Sure, I think that's okay. It's all right.
Basically, the same player.
He needs power in numbers, but he wants Reece James.
But
So Slot's him.
Slot is him right now.
Insane start to his Liverpool career. I mean, it really sucks.
at a loss
seeing-
for words.
No, but
Speechless.
like you see a man like Mikel Arteta, and then you see a manager like Slot. Like I know which one I'd rather.
No, but you know what?
That's
you know what?
tier one rage baiting.
Yeah, he's rage baiting.
Tier one.
You know what I thought about though? That we keep coming to this. How do you say that? This conclusion that managers don't really need time. You know, this is
I
another
agree.
theme.
I was speaking to you about this
Yes.
about Ruben Amorim, and he's hit the ground running at every club before this. So Braga hit the he hit the ground running. Sporting hit the ground running. I don't think this thing about the manager needs time. For every Arteta you say who took 3 years to build this project, there's 10 other Artetas who didn't pan out.
Yeah.
You're right.
What are you
So
laughing
for
about?
me, giving managers time is a bullshit thing to say.
I don't think it's necessarily
I
bullshit.
see both sides. I find like someone like Slot who doesn't really have the CV coming to a big club like Liverpool and still accomplishing what he's doing.
No, I don't agree with this statement.
But,
At all?
but maybe
Think about
honest-
it, because all the examples you use are teams that are already complete before, like it's just the end of an era of
Yes.
a manager and a new one comes
Listen.
in. Brother, we're not gonna act like Slot didn't inherit Van Dijk, Trent, Salah,
Oh, yeah, for
and then
sure.
the rest of that squad. Like he inherited the extremely competent team. He just had to put good tactics out.
I think that's what it was. I think it's more just like he probably came into Liverpool, sat down with the board, and said, "Listen, I could cook with these guys. It's not like I need this. It's not like an Arteta phase 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. That is a drawn out process from the get go. So like in Arteta saying he doesn't need time. Listen, the plan when he came in was to give him time.
But look, applied to Ruben Amorim, okay? Slot came in, perfect team. He actually got no transfers this summer and
Yes.
is still considered a perfect team. Amorim, you guys are gonna not agree with
Why are you
this. but
talking about Amorim?
I don't, because we're talking about giving managers time and shit. So now that he's coming in, are we
know, but we don't
expecting
know.
But I personally don't think our squad. I think we need 3-4
That's-
transfers.
I mean, listen, we're
Brother, you were literally debating with me. We had this debate last week.
what?
That I was telling you that Ruben Amorim will not be able to be good until he gets transfers.
I don't think
and
it
I
won't
disagree.
Be good.
But now you're agreeing. Now you're saying he needs transfer.
No, but I'm not saying, sack him if he doesn't finish in the top 4 this year. That's not what I'm saying.
Van Nistelrooy is getting results with you guys right now.
Our
not saying it's
squad,
bad.
I think, when you look
squad's there.
back at our Eric Ten Hag tenure, which players were really used in their optimal roles?
Not
I
a lot.
actually can't even, I can think of
get it.
2 or 3. So I could say maybe Garnacho, and I don't even think Mainu, to be honest.
Your strikers.
Garnacho, no,
Yes.
our strikers were played hoofball when Hoyland's
Yeah.
not a target man.
Yeah.
Like it's completely
So what is
opposite. Hoyland's an advanced forward. He's not a target man. I don't want to go too into it, but he's just because he's tall doesn't make him a target man. That's not
Check Scamacca as an example.
exactly using Scamacca as a pure target man like Moyes did at
but
West Ham.
at the
That's not
same
going to
time-
work.
At the same time, like Slot for Liverpool, he came in and people like Gravenberch have been like upgrading what we
Yeah, but
thought.
Szoboszlai has been worse.
Amorim took
yeah,
a
but
player that we
there's
thought.
pros and cons. I found.
Amorim took a player that Szoboszlai has not been worse than last season. He's been the same exact player as last season.
I would say stagnant. Yeah.
McAllister's been better.
I don't know about
Honestly,
that.
everybody, to be honest. Maybe Trent took a little dip, but
No.
Klopp-
offensively,
Klopp-
yes. Like stat-wise, I don't really see him as involved.
Yeah, but he's been a better overall player.
Defender, yes, I
But-
could agree with that.
Klopp wasn't using players in their optimal roles. Like
No.
a Gravenberch.
Well,
they,
no.
no, we were talking last season about how they needed a midfield creator and they didn't have this creator to get the ball forward to the players.
No, you start
And then
in the
this year, Slot, we went in. Oh, he didn't get the midfielder. Their midfield looks weak. Next thing you know, Gravenberch, he put them in the proper role. And
Luis
you
Diaz
see
is
it.
a good one. This guy's been like one of the best wingers in
Yes,
the world
I
right
know,
now.
but he
Salah's even better now under Slot than he was
facts.
under Klopp.
Which is insane to think about.
Anyway, but then you have a team like let's say Juventus, where Thiago Motta, none of us instantly expected him to be the best. Bro, you have a bunch of new
Yes.
players, like you're trying to integrate
Yeah, but
5 new
once
players
again,
in the team.
Arteta came in. Let's say when Arteta, like that's a manager you gave time and it worked out. Came in with, you could say, 10 or 9 of the starting 11 players need to be replaced.
Yeah.
It's not like you came in saying, "Oh, this is a good player that's proven it at this club," and that, like, bro, when you walk in and you could say Lacazette's a leader of the locker room and a player that you're gonna build your squad upon and make it towards the end of the rebuild, that's insanity.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think but it depends more on the current state of the club, I think, rather than the manager. Like an Amorim, if you tell me, yeah, he could hit the ground running in Manchester United, I believe you. Like an Arne Slot saying he could hit the ground running in Liverpool, I believe you. But
this is
for
dog shit.
but
bro.
for like a Juventus, I can't see
Yes.
like a Thiago Motta and say, yeah, he could hit the ground running.
Like that deserves time.
Arteta's first 11: Lacazette, Aubameyang, Nelson, Ozil, Xhaka, Torreira, Saka left back, Luiz, Socrates, Maitland-Niles, and then Leno and Nets.
Like
A lot-
that's
a lot of
just a
rough
pile
transfers.
of
but
garbage.
that's
You're not
also-
even
okay,
talking
but
about
also-
the bench.
No, chill. That's time. Like there's realistically only 6 players that are gonna get wiped off this list.
Like Jose Mourinho said, check where they play, if they play. All these players after they left Arsenal did not move to bigger clubs.
I think
No.
Torreira plays for Fenerbahce.
So Torreira.
Oh, yeah.
But that's considered one of the
Still?
better players in that team.
Fiorentina legend.
Like look at Socrates where he went after. Look at David Luiz, bro. This brother's still playing in Brazil. Like
Leno moved.
Leno's a decent Premier League
I don't know
player.
how Leno stayed.
But Leno made it pretty far. Like he made it pretty far into the rebuild.
Aubameyang, like currently shipped to
Marseille.
But
But now he's in Qatar.
He had a Barca stint in between there.
Exactly, that's true.
So I don't know, but Aubameyang wasn't a skill issue; it was a mentality issue.
Yeah.
It was a attitude issue.
No, I see what you're saying. Like these players,
Ozil.
after the fact, were just not at the same
Like
level.
I look at Manchester United's team, and it's filled with players who
Could make a jump
have
up.
proven before that they deserve to be at a European level of that
Yes. I see what you're
tier. Like Mason Mount's won Champions Leagues before as a crucial player, not just like considered a squad player. So I don't know. I'm excited for the new era, but whatever. That's a quick way to speak about Slot.
Yeah, basically, we spoke more about Amorim at Man United than Liverpool.
But the fact that Liverpool fans, you should be excited. The fact that Slot is considered like the barometer for successful integrations into squad is you should
applaud.
yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit of a segue to
Compliment.
another manager that it isn't looking too hot for. I know we wanted to cover this topic. Is Ancelotti under pressure, or is his job secure right now? Are you
It's a tou-
attributing the
it's a tough call.
success to actually the opposite of success to the club or to the
I
players?
think it's just bad squad building, to be honest.
I think it's a tough call. A lot of greed in that squad building. You had Mbappe on a pretty much, not necessarily a free transfer, but you had Mbappe come into the squad thinking, okay, you just built the Avengers, and now like, your greed is the reason why it's not working.
The problem is that you built the Avengers up front, but what about the back? The defenders, brother. They're thinking about calling back Sergio Ramos.
They're
Like,
dropping like flies right
Well,
now.
no, because Eder Militao out injured.
He was already not good.
But the only defender really healthy right now is Rudiger.
and Mendy.
Yeah, but even that they tried
about
playing
it.
him. They tried playing him in
the
training in
midfield.
midfield.
I saw a meme about that on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
Ancelotti's cooking
To
there.
me, that's a
Well,
clear
because you know
squad
you could
issue.
put who you could put Camavinga
Yeah.
left back, and then why would you do that though?
I don't know. I have no clue.
I think Real Madrid right now, you would never have expected them to be in limbo right now.
But
But
I didn't
Cruz
appreciate
effect.
I didn't appreciate Cruz. Varvar did definitely, but I didn't appreciate that how valuable
Yeah.
Cruz was to that team until this year.
and too much energy was on the Mbappe transfer for the last 2-3 years. It seemed like a lot of focus was lost on the defensive line. Like you were just complacent with having a Rudiger and Militao for 40% of the season and then hope for the best because you're going to be scoring goals anyways. I don't think it's necessarily Ancelotti's fault, but he does have some level of blame to it.
But I mean, let's cut him some slack. Carvajal out for the season. Lucas Vasquez out for like 3 to 4 weeks, I think now.
Militao out for the season.
Yeah, like
Let's cut him some slack, bro. All he has is Vinny, Rodrigo, Mbappe,
Yeah, but the ball has
Valverde,
to get to them.
Camavinga.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, he only
The ball
has
has to get
all
to
these
them.
good players.
You got to
bro.
defend. You got to defend, brother.
Some of these brothers are struggling, bro.
And also, we saw a
Struggling
little
out
bit
here.
of a digression from Chouameni. Like, we're not seeing the same Real Madrid that we've seen in the past.
That's Ancelotti. Anchelotti's managing
Do you-
too many.
Chouameni has played center back in the past. Maybe he's going to use him at center back.
That's a little bit crazy.
Camavinga at left back. I don't know. It's just
Valverde
bad
fullback.
squad building, to be honest, because that front three you always went in with like, it's too much of a financial investment to just go in with the thinking of they're going to figure it out.
No, can't do that. When
But
you have
that's what they
billions of
did
dollars
in the
on
mid.
line.
That's what
It's
they
hero
did.
ball. Every time they rely on these superstars to
Bro,
save
ring,
them.
ring, bro. Who's calling? Zinedine Zidane, my friend.
Ooh,
Xabi
Bro, I
Alonso.
think if Zinedine Zidane calls and says, "I'm ready to come back,"
I think
Ancelotti is getting shipped, bro.
I think his legacy at Real Madrid
Bro,
right now is
Zidane has
perfect.
proven that he's the only motherfucker in the world that can manage that many good players in one team. Zidane's the only guy that was able to do it.
Yeah, but he left
Ancelotti
on a
has the
high.
respect.
He left on a high. I imagine. You're coming back, and chances are like you won't perform as well as you did. Everyone's gonna put everything else that you did in question because everyone has
Zidane's
short-term
that guy,
memory loss.
bro. Zidane's never not been that guy, so I have no reason to think that he wouldn't be successful.
It still doesn't change the fact that Real Madrid still don't have a pure striker.
I don't think Zidane solves the
Yeah,
issue.
I think there's a lot more to it than just a managerial thing. But Mbappe, what do you do? Do you boot Vinny? Who do you boot? Who do you say? Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to sit on the bench, boss.
I feel like Vinny, after scoring a hat trick this weekend, kind of proved
He's undroppable.
he proved the
He's on
undroppability
fire.
of him.
But Mbappe is undroppable too. So it's like all of a sudden you're playing him as a striker just by force because you have to. I don't know. It's tough. I don't think Zidane fixes it. Real Madrid though, decent result this weekend versus Osasuna 4-0.
4-0.
So
I mean,
Madrid
losing to Milan cancels that out.
That's what I'm saying. More and more
At
and
home.
more.
The
They're
problem is
still
at
in
home.
credit.
Brother, Osasuna does not push any needle.
Doesn't move me, unfortunately.
That's what is it, 17th place in La
Oh
Liga?
no, it's not looking
Basically
good.
relegation.
You just took 4 goals off Osasuna
But I
just
mean-
like as frustration.
Let's not sugar. Let's add some light to it that they started the season off horribly and they're still only 3 points behind Barcelona. Or well,
wouldn't say
assuming
horribly, though.
assuming they win the game in hand.
I know where you're trying to get to, boss.
I didn't a game in hand, game in hand merchant that I hear.
because I know there's been a lot of yapping on this channel about Barcelona, their form, how good they've been. Can they be better?
And only 3 points behind, assuming they win the game in hand. Only 3 points behind, my brother.
So Varvar, I think you have a couple things to say to some Barca individual. I know you said some before, but if you have any last remarks for them.
I mean, we spoke in that Barcelona pack for sure this week. This whole international
Brother, bro.
This whole international break for real. If we speak in facts over here, but
Because of that one Real Sociedad loss.
yes, and I will juice it for the whole international.
Enjoy
Millie,
that, bro. That's
Millie,
one loss.
He's got Monaco too on that.
Monaco
list
on my mind.
Millie, offside aside,
I got Monaco.
how many shots
on
did
my
Barca
mind.
take this weekend on target?
0.
too. You're looking at like a 1 or 2.
0.
Nice.
Yeah.
This was a bad-
So you guys can talk about. that he had long shoes, whatever. I don't know what's long on Lewandowski.
But you had 2
brother,
other wingers there that
brother,
could score
you
goals.
still didn't. You still didn't take a shot on target. So
They're also Sociedad world beaters is what I'm
Tell your striker to take off those yee ass boots, and then we're good.
Real Sociedad had 6 shots on target.
Those clown shoes.
Something wasn't clicking in that game, but
Hansi Flick.
they'll be fine. I think Barcelona low-key got this.
I think Barcelona in crisis mode right now.
Yeah, I think the panic.
everyone,
Panic
huh?
I'm
button-
pressing the panic
But
button.
Real Madrid, let them cook.
You trusting Flick or Ancelotti right now?
I'm saying sack Flick. bring back Xavi because he knows the club and he's had success there before. It's like Zidane. You can't say no to Xavi, you know?
Look at Varva trying to hold in that
He's
laugh.
rage baiting hard.
If anyone's listening on Spotify, Apple Music, don't take him seriously right now.
By the way, if you want to leave a review, 5 stars.
Not a right time, bro.
Yeah.
Not the right time.
Plug bro.
Definitely ain't getting a 5-star review after that, brother. Crazy work.
But
5-star
are we,
rage bait, though.
Are we? That was we spoke on some good topics tonight. I feel like we got into like, especially at the beginning, I like the Man City talk.
And we're going to do an extra 30 minutes on
I was about to say
Patreon.
that's what I was gonna say. So for those of you who want to listen to more of the podcast, we're not exactly sure the topics we're gonna be talking about on there, but
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Gonna be
but
yapping.
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you get to see an extra 30 minutes of the pod. So
This week specifically.
this week specifically. So go check that out if that interests you. Aside from that, thank you for listening to this point, and I think we'll see them in episode 32.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I will still be speaking about Barcelona losing.
Gulp.
Enjoy.